Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. So here's what's on today's menu. That portable homemade garage that is covering my beautiful 1927 T-bucket build. I've got the Model A Ford pretty much where I need it to be at the moment till I start getting some more finances. So we're going to go over top of the 27 T-bucket and see what else we could do for her. So here's my homemade portable garage storage, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's fully opened. And so that's how she looks with the one side open. And well, you can see there, makes a nice little overhang. It starts raining, and well, I'll come up in here, I'll be nice and dry. So there, now I got a little homemade roof. And it's just something simple. Garage doors. I used the original set of hinges for the doors here, and I stuck it there. And then I stuck another one over there. I need to put one here so that way it'll help support the center. And then I need to lock these hinges all together. So I'm going to run a piece of bed rail down the outside of it, and I'm going to bolt it to there so it can't go nowhere. And now I know what that is. That's a tractor trailer strap. I was wondering what the hell that was. And so for nighttime use, if needed, I can plug her in and have me some daylight in here. And so, well, here's my 27 T-bucket. So I'm going to clean up the area a little bit. And man, it did a great job keeping the leaves out of here and keeping the water out of here. It's rained for about 2 days. And you can see she's quite dry in here, though we did have a little bit of leakage, which I'm not worried about. That's fine. But this, you see how dry my tires are, and you see how wet it is out there. So that's cool. So where I thought I was going to need some rectangle stock to run me a subfloor, I've decided to change my mind on that. So I'll explain that as we go along, so that way I don't bore you through the video talking. Sometimes it's better just to show than to tell. So this was actually a lot more together than what I thought she was. We have rear brake lines. We have a master cylinder down there, which is going to get changed out. That's for a rear brake assembly only, which then renders my brand new brake disc hardware useless. So we're going to put a different master cylinder on it and brake pedal. And so we'll be trying to see what we can do today. I can tell you, I'll be right back. And so here we go. That's what she looks like fully open. So now I can come in here, walk out around that way, all the way around, work on my car. It'll be just like I'm walking around my car. I move this out of the way, and I'm going to come around the front and work on it. It's no different than walking around that front tire. Work on the front. And so I must say, let's simplify. So We got strong wood that'll withstand the snow, and sheet metal, some plywood, nothing screwed down, just laying on there, and then the tractor trailer tarp. Put over top. It does great. Does awesome. Has some good quality material. And so starts to rain. Screw it. I can keep working. Get nice cool breeze coming through both sides. And well, guys, I'm trying to be in a happy mood, but sometimes it gets downright damn difficult. This poor little mama here is the baby of my little buddy. This is his daughter. This poor little thing scared shitless. He was the star of the show. And every time I see this little face, it reminds me of him. I say, everybody give me some likes and subscribes. My daddy died. I got hit by a car because of a careless piece of shit. So, after that happened, she wouldn't come up here for a while. Anymore, for probably a good reason. When I found him, so she's really super skittish. She's got a bit of his markings. Down the back of her legs has his same color. And the same tiger stripe in the face. Her eyes are like a tealish blue color. Almost like his. I ain't gonna lie, it's real tough not seeing him here. He was always under my feet. I was always worried that he was going to catch fire because I didn't see him underneath of my car while I was welding, so I would scare him a little bit so he would know not to get under there. But he didn't understand the dangers up here sometimes. He never played in the road. I'd never seen him in that road, ever. He was always too scared. He was petrified of cars. So there was this pudgy fucker that recently started coming over here because he wanted to eat, which I don't have a problem with. Animals starving, you come and get your food. You know, I don't have a problem with that. But when you start viciously launching and attacking, scaring the other ones that's been here since it all started, you don't do that over here like that. Nah. You take your fat ass, you get out of this property. Because I will not tolerate it. And, so, there's been a couple times I caught this pudgy little fucker launching at these little guys. And I scared them back on the other side of the fence. And, well, I'm starting to think that maybe he scared him into the road or across the road. But it's really strange how he was gone for 2 weeks. And when I found his body, it was almost like it was the night before. So it was like, where in the hell was he for the past 2 weeks? I don't have to be descriptive. If I get into details, it's going to bother me. So, trying to keep my damn head together. I just lost my little buddy back in December from a major heart attack. And then now this little buddy. I'll never be able to see them again. So, anyways. So every time I see her, it reminds me of him because that was his little shadow. Everywhere he went, she was there. And, so, I mean, you can see she's just tiny, playful little thing. She don't hurt nothing. They're only out here like we are, just trying to survive and trying to find food, trying to eat. So for those that hate cats, let me tell you something. Since I've been around cats, there has not been one snake, not one frickin' mouse anywhere, long as these little guys are around. And let me tell you something. You have mice, you will have snakes. Okay? And snakes are not that bad. They're good for the environment. The ones that are not venomous. But why need snakes when you can just get cats and resolve the issue? Cats will stop the population of the mice, stop the population of the snakes. Goes hand to hand. Cats will listen, you can train them. You may not think so, but I've been in close quarters with these little guys and have to smell each other's shits. So, I know better. They're not stupid. And so, well, the problem with the whole mice, they are destructive. They are nasty. They will contaminate and make you sick. They will chew up your wires, create an unstable environment to where you can catch your house on fire, catch your vehicle on fire. They destroy everything. They will shit and piss anywhere they can. They will rip your furniture. They will rip your black leather interior out of a 27T bucket. I'm sorry, but these cats, they don't do that to me. These little guys, if I ever catch them, I just, they back off. They know better. When they know I don't like something, I make a noise. And it gets their attention and they know not to do it. So, they're curious. I mean, you see, she's just walking around. She's checking shit out because things have changed. It's made a sudden change up here, having these doors open. So don't hate cats. Don't hurt them. You know, I've seen and heard stories where people take scalding hot water and throw it on these poor little guys, only because they're trying to survive. You ain't the most inferior thing on this earth to dictate, you know, what's supposed to be here and not supposed to be here. It's not your fucking job. We're here to share this planet. Yeah, we may be a little bit smarter, but we're also stupid. But anyways, with that said, I want to continue trying to figure what am I going to do, what is going to be the best method, because it's a expensive fiberglass replica of the 27T bucket. I say this because these doors are functional. it has better quality over its fiberglass, that when it's painted, it's going to look like the legit deal. The doors will be functional, which the newer style, they cost less. You're looking at probably about $800-900 versus you're looking at probably about almost $2.5-3 grand body kit. And I don't like the fact of just having plywood floors wrapped in fiberglass. When that frame starts going like this, galloping down the road, it's going to flex that fiberglass and it's going to start letting water in. And it's going to get dry rotted. It's going to rot the wood out. Next thing you know, you're going around the turn and your car body falls off. So what I'm planning on doing is going the extra mile. I'm going to take that piece of galvanized sheet metal and I'm going to put tar. I'm going to do fiberglass first. Then I'm going to put tar, not the squeeze tube, the actual kind that you have to heat up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that sheet metal, I'm going to lay it down, heat it up, lay it across that, and I'm going to stamp it on the bottom side of that body. That's one way I'm thinking. And then I need some kind of a dampener, like a body mount. Tabs there for the, let's see if I can zoom in on it. Yeah, right there. See that body mount? I was thinking that's probably more direct approach for putting on the sides here. Put them in the four corners. And then I'm planning on building something off the back of it. Because I don't like that bucket. Just having that and then a truck, little tiny ass small truck bed size of a grocery cart. I want something a little bit different. As you can already tell from looking at this, it's going to be different than what everyone else has. And so I do have to address the motor mounts. They're just tacked on there, set. And I have to check the degree of this motor and the angle, because that drive shaft looks like it's going out and then it looks like it goes up and over to the left. I'm not sure if it's the rear axle or if it's the way this motor's sitting in here, but it's just something looks off. It could very well be the transmission mount. It just needs to be another hole and move the motor over, but it's not by much. So I figure I got enough work into that. By the way, so now I'm thinking about trying to line some stuff up over here to get started on this guy. So I want to start catching up on this little guy, because once I get the body mounts, the brake master cylinder set in its place, lined up, ready to be mounted, and have actual physical body mounts on this thing, then I can actually start the more sophisticated stuff, which is the leather interior. And that's a little bit of work there. You got to have some common know-how to do that. It's not just plug and play, throw it in, and you're done. It's a special certain way you got to wrap it around the backside of it. Whoop, she just bust her head. Oh, poor little thing. You okay, babies? It's a good girl. And so, well, for those that don't remember or haven't seen this car yet, we're looking at a 351 out of a 1970 Mustang with a single high-rise intake manifold, 654 barrel Holley, set of Pete Jackson gears, and a mild performance cam, dual core radiator with a C4 transmission. I'm not sure what the rear is, but due to its size, looks like it might be a 9-inch rear. Sitting on a set of pretty center lines. And so, she does run. If you go back to the other videos, you can see that she runs. And, man, does she sound awesome. And the funny part is, I did the vacuum port for the brake booster, or for whatever else. I stuck a spark plug in there. It blocked that hole. It was a perfect fit. So, anyone asked me, that's for my cold startup. It truly tests people's knowledge there. So, yeah, that's my cold startup plug. I just hope to God the electric never gets to that fucking thing. That gets in there, we're talking about detonation inside the carburetor. Wow. That may just even blow that intake. That would suck. And so, the other thing I have to do is I have to sand down this motor, because the previous owner, it doesn't appear that they degreased it good enough or didn't blow enough dust off, but it looked. I got a nice chrome alternator bracket kit, polished aluminum, and a playful little girl. Come here, babies. Yeah, she's waiting for my attention. She likes my attention. She's a good girl. Yeah, she's a good girl. Been, what, almost 2 weeks since you've been up here? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, been almost 2 weeks. Yeah, so, well, guys, that's what's in front of me here. I'm going to be cleaning up my rims, get the dirt off of them, and I need to find a cover to keep shit out of it and off the front rims. And unfortunately, back from when there was a rug underneath my car, it held moisture up underneath and started to rust my damn brake rotors and my brake calipers. So now I have to take care of that. I think I'm going to sand them, get the rust off, and then add a little bit of paint. And then when I'm ready to drive it, I'll just start it up and go, and whatever the surface hits with the brake pads, it'll take the paint off. Or I can just take a rag with some little bit of gasoline and it'll take it off. No biggie. So hang tight. I'm going to try to work this out. I'm going to see what I can do here today with this, because I really want to get this a little bit more caught up and get a game plan on what I'm going to do here. Because that was basically a little bit of a hold up of why she has not been touched in a while. So she may also be due for a little bit of a summertime startup. But I need to get some radiator hoses, get some coolant up in this baby, and let her get a nice good heat cycle. keep her nice and fresh. But so far, man, I'm digging it. I love the way she turned out. That motor, she looks amazing. My sponsor that made the alternator bracket, he's actually got my motor in his advertisement, so that was pretty cool. So hang tight, I'll be right back. See what we can do here today. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take off the single line master cylinder. Yeah. Two ways to do it. Take that bracket off, slide it forward so that big hugga jugga can get in there. The other way is, it'll be less work here, but more work for me on top with the brake pedal, which I could mount this way and have it go the other way, which either way is going to be work. So I'd rather do it this way, pull this forward so that can go in there, and then it's done. Then I can run my brake lines from the back to the front, put my diverter in between the two, and then I'll have full functioning brakes. And then I'll do my body mounts once I get it all into place. For some reason, I mean, when you look down it, this transmission looks like it's in it dead center. Looks like it's dead center. But as you go back, you can see where it leans that way some. And you can tell that's pretty good size rear. That's why I'm thinking it's possibly a 9-inch rear. Haven't got that far into it to see what it is. I can jack it up and spin the rotation of the wheel versus how many turns of the drive shaft versus how many turns the wheels are. Tell me the ratio, whatever, blah, blah, blah. At this point, it's going to be advisable. Keep hearing like a telephone ringing. I have to make this animal proof. I don't want wildlife climbing up into my exhaust and making disaster and putting squirrel nuts up inside my motor. Unfortunately, I was picking squirrel nuts up out of my intake here. So, but yeah, this is what I'm talking about. That paint, it doesn't seem to adhere very well. So, I have to knock off all the loose stuff and probably going to change the color of the motor. I just don't like everything solid blue. You know, I like stuff with character. They, splits everything up, like the yellow plug wires, the chrome valve covers, the snorkel, and the water pump. I like to be a bright silver. I like to change the color of the heads versus the block. I don't like my oil open face motor where everything's shown, and this is where it's all at. This is what people enjoy looking at. So I don't like stuff being just one single color. There's just no character in that. So she's not that far along. I mean, it's not much more that needs to be done as far as being functional driving vehicle. But far as you got to mount the body, you got to do the interior, paint the body. And I got one little drip up here I'm trying to avoid. It keeps hitting me in the back of the hand. Trying to figure out how I'm going to do my front fenders, and still hadn't figured out how I'm going to do a set of shock absorbers here in the front because of that steering rides in the way. And most of these cars, they had the suicide front axle. This one, everything's underneath, which is what I prefer to have. Something fails here, the car still has something to sit down on. The other way fails, it just rips off and goes up underneath, and you dig the nose down into the ground. That's why it's suicide. But boy, I love my baby. Want to get me a polishing wheel so I could really shine that up, and along with the valve covers. So yeah, it's just a matter of get stuff together and make it happen. So I think I found the perfect resolvement for squirrel nuts in my fucking exhaust. There you fuckers. Now you'll stay out of my exhaust. Yeah, that's the biggest 44-ounce cut. So now you can see just how big those headers are. That's 3.5 inch cut. So I'm going to be taking some photos up here, and I got a couple possibilities and some ideas what I'm going to do to this guy. And she's going to be quite badass. And so yeah, y'all might want to hang tight with this one. Y'all might want to watch this. So that's where I'm at with this. I figured to give you guys some little bit of update. You can see my homemade working garage and see what I'm up to. Trying to keep my mind clear. Trying to get my mind off my little buddy, but